Welcome back. We are doing our 35 week update. Today is Sunday, August 16th, so I am officially 35 weeks pregnant. Only 5 more weeks until my due date, and now we're in the stage at the end of the pregnancy. Any other moms who have been pregnant know that the last 30 days, the last month, is a drag. So we are 5 days away from officially being a month away from our due date, but it's already dragging and I cannot wait to be done. So I had someone ask to do like embarrassing like symptoms and stuff like that, and it's funny because she asked me to do that and I really didn't have any that were like super embarrassing. And just this past week and a half I've noticed more of like the not so cute sides of pregnancy. So I'll go ahead and talk about me first, and then I will go ahead and talk about little guy. We just had our growth scan on the 14th, so I can talk about that and know like estimated weight and everything like that. So for me, a lot of what I've been feeling lately is a lot of pubic pressure. He is head down. He is very, very low. I've had my OBGYN tell me that, or my midwife, I should say. I've had the nurse that walks me into my room and does my blood pressure and checks me when I first walk in, like weight and all of that stuff. I had her tell me that she doesn't see me going past 40 weeks and that I looked extremely low. I had the ultrasound tech tell me that I looked extremely low, and that when she was looking around and trying to get a good shot of him, that he was extremely low and pressed up against my cervix to where I probably wouldn't be getting any more cute pictures of him. So everyone's saying that I'm not going to make it to 40 weeks and that he's low, which you guys can let me know if you think that he is low or if my belly's dropped when I show my belly later. But I've been having a ton of pelvic pressure. I am now at the stage to where it doesn't matter how much I drink or how little I drink. I am peeing every 5 seconds, it feels like. I wake up about 3 or 4 different times throughout the night to either switch positions or go pee, and the majority of the time it's just to go pee. I'd say about like 10% of that is me switching positions. Normally I'll fall asleep on my left side, which I know is supposed to be the better side or the suggested side that they tell you. And I'll end up, when I wake up to go to the bathroom the first time, I'll notice that I'm on my back. And then after I use the restroom, I will come back and I will try to fall asleep on my right side. So varying from all of those sides. Today alone, I've had more Braxton Hicks, which are just like the preparing contractions, which are uncomfortable. I wouldn't say that they're painful, but they're uncomfortable, and I had a lot in my back today, which were pretty persistent to make me almost want to go to the hospital just to be sure. But they died down after I laid down and tried to relax a little bit. I'm also having a ton of hip pain and tailbone pain, which again all is due to how he's positioned and where he's sitting. He has his head right up against everything, and when he goes to move, he'll stretch out on my right hip, and it just, all of that pain is wonderful. The lovely side of pregnancy. And the tailbone is just, from what my midwife said, is due to this being a like 4th time pregnancy rather than the first time. My body and my uterus and everything has expanded, and due to how he's sitting and how big he is, it is more intense rather than if it was like a first time, it wouldn't be as intense is what she was saying. I don't know how true that is, but there's that. I've also had feelings in my breast to where they feel, well, I shouldn't say they, it's normally one or the other, not both at the same time, where they feel full, like you're about to have a letdown or something. Any of you watching knows what that feels like. That's a breastfeeding term. It's either one or the other. They don't do it at the same time. But I've noticed that has been happening a lot more, which it's probably just my chest preparing for nursing and birth and everything else. I've noticed more heartburn and acid reflux if I eat certain things. Like tonight, I know that I'm gonna have heartburn due to having tacos and salsa. And I've noticed if I have pickles and Cheez-Its, I get a ton of acid reflux, which is a pain in the butt because it's uncomfortable. But I've noticed I've had that. I've also had a lot of gas, where if it's, you know, burping, farting, whatever. I've had a lot of that more now than beforehand. Beforehand, it was just if I had like spicy food or more like greasy fast food type stuff. Now it really doesn't matter what the heck I eat. It comes when it comes and it goes when it goes. I've also been on the colder side rather than the warmer side, and it fluctuates. Like at night, I'll usually curl up into my pillow and put the cover at least covering my legs. But the last couple nights, I've had to have it like totally covering me, and then by the first time I get up to pee, I'll notice that I've had to kick it off, or when I get back into bed to go to sleep, I'll kick it off because I'm too warm at that point. So I'm hot and cold depending on the day. I'm still super tired. That hasn't changed since I first got pregnant. I think I've gotten over the whole nesting phase because I have everything where I want it. So I'm over the nesting part, besides getting like little things here and there, or like making sure that the house is cleaner. I don't think it's like nesting, but I am going through everything in my hospital bag for me and for him, double checking, watching recent like what's in my hospital bag type things, and seeing what is out there that is new that I don't already have, to see if I would need it or want it. I've been doing a lot of that so I can do my what's in my hospital bag and my postpartum essential video later on. So I'm just trying to like finalize that. I've been, unless I have to go anywhere and have to like get out of my car, I normally don't get dressed. I normally be in like a shirt and pajama pants like I am today. Comfort is the biggest thing right now, and I like soft, comfortable pajamas and shirts, and that's what I've basically been living in. I think that is all for me. All my symptoms have basically stayed the same. I've added some here and there, or taken some away. I don't think there's really much more to what's going on with me so far. In the past, let's see, I last did a video at like 32 weeks, so it's only been 2 weeks now. I think that's all for me. I have noticed I get restless leg. I have a restless leg sometimes, and I've noticed that in like my calf area, if I've laid on it wrong, it'll get stiff and I'll get like a Charlie's horse. Just super painful. I had one the other night and it was really bad. But other than that, I think that is all for me. My blood pressure has not elevated at all since the last time that I updated and was at my growth scan, when it was at like 144 or whatever. It's been in the good side of blood pressure, so I think it just might have been that day. If I do too much walking or don't drink enough water, I'll notice that I'll be in more discomfort, and I'll notice swelling in my feet and in my fingers faster than if it was just like walking. But other than that, that's all of the symptoms, pains that I have. like I said, I am trying to finalize what's in my hospital bag, what I'm actually going to need, what I'm bringing, all of that. And then I'm waiting for a couple things to come in for my postpartum essentials and have those videos up hopefully before I have him. I'm hoping to do the hospital bag next week and the postpartum essentials the week after that. So next Monday I'm hoping to have the hospital bag video up, and then the Monday after that have postpartum. So I did install the car seat base and the car seat and the mirror into the van just to have it in there and get Charlotte used to having like a car seat there, because the seat was just pulled down. And when my mom and grandma and brothers get here, because of COVID and everything else going on, and Jackson will be in school online at home, they really won't have to go anywhere. We'll just have the van, because there will be more than enough people to stay with the kids, and if somebody has to go run an errand, so it's not like they would really need the car. Also, my midwife was saying that as long as everything is good with me and baby and we don't have a C-section, that we should be able to go home within 24 hours of birth, due to COVID and them just trying to get people in and out as fast as possible. Now of course if I have a C-section I'm going to be there 3 days, but nothing I can do about that. So that is all for that and what's coming. Now with him, I had my growth scan on Friday and I have another one at 38 weeks on September 11th. As of Friday, he was 6 pounds, 10 ounces. He's on the bigger side. I know that most of the time, like when doctors tell you or anything, or you know, anybody, that the weight can be off by like 15% either up or down, meaning he can be actually 7 pounds or 5 pounds, you know, who knows. But it's just an estimate. But because we've been watching his growth from my anatomy scan at 19 weeks clear up until now, and watching it go up and then come down a little bit and then go up again and stay, I'm more prone to believing what they say. Not to mention when I had my daughter Charlotte, we had gotten a couple scans with her and they estimated her weight, I think it was right before I had her, they estimated her weight at 8 pounds like 2 ounces, and she was 8'10". So they were off by a couple ounces, but still in the right range. Also, I'm carrying and feel more like I did when I was pregnant with Jade, and when I had Jade she was 9 pounds 4 ounces. So looking at my belly, how I'm carrying and how I'm feeling compared to hers and this one, they kind of seem the same. So I wouldn't be surprised if he comes out at 9 pounds or more. At my last scan, and that was 34 weeks 5 days, so he is on the bigger side. Everything looks good. He was up against my placenta and very low, to where I don't think we're gonna get any more cute pictures unless somehow he flips or does something. He enjoys moving a ton. We still do not have a name for him. I've been throwing around a whole bunch of names that I like, that I've thrown around before, and just new names. Honestly, at this point, I mean, his might not even have a C name. I have no idea. We have 5 weeks left to figure out a name, or we won't have a name until we see him and figure it out before we go home. So he is still question mark. My friend Brittany in Canberra, they nicknamed him Chocolate. So when I talk to them, I refer to him as Chocolate. Any other person, I refer to him as question mark. Like when I'm talking to him, I say question mark. And the kids refer to him as baby brother, or as Charlotte calls him, brother. Not really much. I mean, everything that I feel pregnancy wise is due to what he is doing and how he's sitting inside of me. Besides him being low on the bigger side and moving around constantly, especially when I go to lay down to go to bed, there's not really a huge change with him besides being bigger than he was 2.5 weeks ago. I think that's all. This was the picture that she was able to get. Obviously there's his little, well, I wouldn't say little, but there's his head up there, and then you can see he's got like a little pouty face, definitely chubby cheeks, and there's a little bit of his body. And then see, there's my placenta right there. So he's right up against there. You can only see a little bit of hair back here. Due to how close he is to my placenta, you can't see everything. But that is all. I'll go ahead and show you guys my belly. So there's my belly. In the front you can see he's got something pushed up against here, out and low, that when they did my fundal height, which is the top of my uterus, to my pelvic bone, he was measuring 38 weeks, and on the scan when they were measuring his head and his belly, they were both measuring 38 weeks, but his legs, like his femur bone and all that stuff, were measuring, I think it was like 35 weeks or 34 weeks. So they were on time, but everything else was a little bit ahead. Again, not like that really means anything. It's just the size is bigger is what the ultrasound tech told me. So that is it. Be sure to subscribe if you want to see what happens in daily life with the rest of the kids, me, more of Jackson's dinosaur talks, and just to see the birth vlog once that's here, and the hospital bag video, and everything else that is to come in the next couple weeks. But we will see you guys next time.